everyone, it's Jessica, and this is another edition of Raleigh Rambles, where I process something that I'm thinking about out loud and share it with all of you. Today I want to talk about the BU-EDU topic for this month, which is finding your niche. I've been thinking about this all month and trying to decide what I wanted to share in my video about this topic ever since the wonderful Dr. Will told me that was what was going to be talked about this month. And I have a couple of experiences that I've had recently that I think fit really nicely into this topic. So the most recent one is that just now I drove past the stadium that's across the street from my house. We have graduations this week at the stadium, so a lot of the area high schools use that stadium for their graduation ceremonies, and although it's been incredibly rainy, luckily the rain has held off and it's just sprinkling right now, so I'm hopeful that they'll be able to get through their celebration on the field without too much rain coming their way. But as I was driving past, I saw, the parking lot is full and there's this line of cars down the road waiting to turn in. I was just thinking about who are the people who are in those cars, their parents, their grandparents, their aunts and uncles and friends and family, and just thinking about the kinds of thoughts and feelings that they must be having right now as they get to, go celebrate the person who they're there to see graduating, and the things that they're reflecting on and looking ahead to. And then I kind of glanced over to the field and I saw that the stadium was packed and it's just wall-to-wall people sitting in the stands, and I looked down on the field and all the graduates are lined up and they're wearing their gowns and their caps, and they're getting ready for this really momentous occasion in their lives. And so then I started thinking about, what are those students thinking and feeling? What kind of reflection are they having today, where they're looking back and thinking about not just the last 4 years of their schooling and their lives, but I remember feeling very much like that was a sort of an ending point of my whole childhood and all of the things that I had done up until that point. And then there's also this exciting but scary piece, which is looking ahead and thinking about, what am I going to be doing next year, and how is my life changing? And a lot of these kids are going to be moving away, and they'll be living away from home for the first time, and for some that's very exciting, and for others it's very emotional and a bit scary. And some graduates know exactly what it is that they'll be pursuing, but some of them don't. A lot of them don't. A lot of them might know what college they're going to, but maybe they don't know what they want to major in, or maybe they're taking time off. They're not quite sure what their path is going to be quite yet. And so I was thinking about, in particular, do they feel like they know at least one of the things that is their niche? And as they think about their schooling so far, do they feel like their teachers have helped them find their niche? And do they know themselves enough to know, at least right now in this moment, what they're really passionate about, what their interests are, what they love, who they are as a learner and a person so far in this life? And do their parents and their grandparents and all those people who are there to see them, do they feel like their students have been prepared to find their niche? And if they haven't found it yet, do they feel confident that their kids will find that path, and that the next journey that they're about to take is going to support them in that? So it just got me thinking about the importance of how educators can help students to find that. And I don't think that kids need to know, even in high school, exactly what they're going to be and what they're going to do. And I think that a lot of us have had a journey where we thought we were going to do one thing and it took a turn and we did something else, and I think that's wonderful and great. But I think it's also important that we help kids to at least explore what their niche could be. And not that they have to make up their mind to decide what it's going to be, but at least get that chance to explore. And just what an incredible honor that we have as educators to help them to do that. And so, I guess I just pose that as a question to all of you educators out there. Like, how do you help your students, whether they're kindergartners or middle schoolers or, seniors in high school or college students? How do you help your students? And I guess I could pose this question to myself, and how do I help the adult learners who I support to find their niche and to follow their passions and to get either ignited or reignited about their passions? Because I think that that's one of the keys to finding your niche, is finding what you love. The thing that you want to do, and you constantly want to get out of bed and jump right to it and be able to immerse yourself in those things that you love. I think that's the true key to finding your happiness in a profession, but also really finding your voice and your niche as a person. So that was one experience that I had about finding your niche. And the other one happened last Friday. I had the great pleasure to go and see some of my former students who were in the musical, and it was a very special experience because these are kids who I had in 4th grade who are now 6th grade, almost 7th graders. Oh, I can't believe it. And it's pretty rare for a 6th grader to be cast in the middle and high school musical, but I had a handful of my kiddos who were, and actually even a 5th grader who was cast in the play as well. And so I got to go and watch them on stage, and I leave my former school and these performances every single time with this feeling of thankfulness and gratitude, and just feeling really, really happy that my students who I had and the other students who are in this school and students across a whole bunch of schools who have these opportunities to find their niche in something like the arts. Because it was also a special performance because this is the first year that my former school will be graduating a class of seniors, which is a really big deal for a lot of the teachers and staff who have seen these kids go up through the years. And one of the things that is really exciting is to see these kids step forward who are seniors now, about to graduate, and to think back on the experiences that I've seen them have over the last few years in the arts and in theater and in the things that can become their niche and have become their niche. The student who I remember his first performance that he was on the stage crew for, and he was helping with lighting, and I just remember at the end of that few performances and that experience how excited he was and how invested he was in continuing to grow both his skills and his passion in that area. And to see him now, he's stage managed an entire show by himself, no help from adults. Absolutely incredible, the things that he has learned and been able to do. And the actor who's up there, who I had the great pleasure to work with him during show choir last year, and to see the way he's grown into his voice and his characters, and he's been in every single show since the beginning, which is another sort of special thing to see a senior graduating who's been involved in every show on that stage so far. And just talking to my kids who are juniors in high school, who I've had the wonderful pleasure to meet and work with over the last few years, who are so excited about senior year, and they're doing internships this summer, and they're working at the Denver Center for the Performing Arts, and they're just doing such amazing, incredible things, and they're so passionate about it, so excited about it. I had one student who is a junior who has been doing some work with the district, and she's been on sort of a student committee to help make decisions about things, and she is so excited, and she said to me, "Miss Raleigh, I can't wait to be part of education. I want to be an educator. I know this is what I want to do. It's been so fun and amazing to be able to be a part of these things." And just these little experiences that she's had over the years, and the opportunities that she's been able to jump into, the way that she's taken those and just run with them and found her niche. And she's saying to me, a junior in high school, "I know what my niche is, Miss Raleigh, and I can't wait to do that." And it just makes me kind of emotional, but it's amazing. Like, it is so incredible to see these students have those opportunities, especially because a lot of these students are kids who might not otherwise have an opportunity to find their niche. Math is not going to be their niche, and they might love to read, but maybe literacy isn't going to be their niche, and academics maybe aren't their strong point, and maybe they're very strong students, but they struggle to keep up with their homework and the jobs that they have to keep in order to help support their families at home, and just taking care of their siblings. Just the amount of things that are on these students, even a student who doesn't have those additional responsibilities, but the stress and the pressure that is on them to constantly be performing, and the things that they are struggling with just as being teenagers. It just is so incredible to me that through all of these things, they're finding their niche. And so I leave these performances feeling thankful that those students have found that, and feeling so much gratitude to the teachers who work absolutely ridiculous hours to be able to put on these performances, and they stay after school doing rehearsals with the kids, and they're sewing costumes, and oh my gosh, I could go on and on about the things that these educators are doing to be able to help these kids find their niche, and the way that they support them and honor them as people and build upon their strengths and help them fill in the gaps, and giving them the skills that they'll need so that when they graduate, they can go out into the world, and whether it's college or a career, they will know how to hold their own in a professional theater or in a company or at an audition. And it's those kinds of things that I think go back to what I was saying before, which is that we have this great opportunity to help kids to find that. And when we do, I think it's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. So that's kind of what I'm thinking about finding your niche. I feel so thankful to the people who throughout my life helped me find my niche, and I was fortunate to find that niche in the arts, and so that's always a special place in my heart as a dancer, that I believe that the arts are so important, but I also think technology and engineering and programming and so many different things. Literature can be kids' passion and their key to finding their niche. And so I put that out to all of you. What is your niche? How are you sharing that with the world? And how are you helping the people in your life, whether they're children or adults, how are you helping them to pursue or reignite or follow their passions so that they can have their niche as well? So thank you for listening. Please leave any comments that you have, and I'll talk to you all soon.